how to make homeschooling more fun, go to the library and look for books that are like this, where it has 100 things you should know about a topic. Look at the homeschooling ideas that are in here. Let's see if I can get a good grip on the book. So first of all, it has some really interesting just images in the front. These are exactly the type of cartoony type things that your kids would love to doodle and draw. But then look inside the book, there are 100 different mini lessons or interesting facts about weather. And you could choose the top 20. Give your kids Post-its and have them go through the book and select the things that they would like to learn more about. Like, look at this, number 52. The center of a hurricane is calm and still. This part is called the eye. If your kids mark this about something that they would like to learn more about, you can get all kinds of information on hurricanes and do a whole science mini unit just on that topic alone. This page right here actually has 6 different mini topics that you could study about hurricanes. Super, super cool. This book itself also has these little I don't believe it. Tropical storms are called different names. Hurricanes develop over the Atlantic, typhoons over the Pacific, and cyclones over the Indian Ocean. Did you know that hurricanes, typhoons, and cyclones are really the same type of storm, but the name tells you where they're located? That's super interesting. So go to the library and look for 100 things you should know about weather, volcanoes, dinosaurs, healthy foods, or fill in the blank. I love to go to the library and to pick up books like this off the bookshelf and then strew them around the house. So let me show you what that means. Because what you want to do is wet your child's whistle and see if they lean into a topic, right? So say I went to the library and I thought, okay, instead of telling the kids that they're going to learn about the weather, I'm going to pick up 3 or 4 or 10 picture books about the weather, and I'm going to strew them around the house. So look at this. Your house has this nifty thing in it too. Let me stand up. Your house has this nifty thing too. It's called a windowsill. Flip my camera around. Your windowsill is this magic book holder. And what you do is you just put your books in plain sight on a shelf or on a windowsill around the house. And then you ignore them. Did you hear that? You ignore them. Over the course of the next day or 3, your child is going to walk by, and first they're going to pretend that they don't see it because they don't want you to know that you got their attention. But eventually their curiosity is going to be piqued, and they're going to grab the book and they're going to sit down and they're going to flip through it. They're not going to make a big deal about it, and they're not going to tell you that they thought that you picked a good book, but you're going to find them sitting just flipping through the book. And then you'll know you got them when they say something like, Mom, did you know that when the sun shines all day in the far north, there is 24-hour night in the far south? Did you know that? I never thought of that before. Or they may say, if I can flip the page, Hey Mom, I got a question for you. Beneath its gleaming white fur, what color is a polar bear's skin? And then they can tell you, oh, did you know why? And they'll be able to read. You really know you got them when they bring the book to you and they say something like, Mom, would you read me this book? So strewing. How do you make homeschooling more fun? By being strategic. Going to the library and picking out random books, things that you don't know whether or not your kids like, and leave them in plain sight so that your kids can walk by them and become comfortable with the look of the cover, and then become curious and pick up the book and flip through it. Don't make the mistake of seeing them touch it and go, oh, do you want me to read that to you? Mm-mm. You wait. You let them look through the story on their own, because we want to cultivate curiosity. We want to inspire our kids to learn. And it's not our job to teach them everything they need to know about the weather. Did you hear that? It's not our job to teach them everything they need to know about the weather. So just using this as an example, it's our job to expose them to the ideas of the things that they can learn in a way that causes their curiosity to be piqued and that pulls them in closer. Because once they lean in closer, now you have a teachable child. Now you have someone that if you give them Post-it notes and you have them look at this book and you say, after they have shown that they're interested in it, then, so backing up, you've strewn the books around the house. They've shown interest in this particular topic. They've asked you questions, or you've been able to read it together. Another day, hand them some Post-its and say, okay, here are 6 Post-it notes. I want you to go through this book and I want you to mark 6 of the most interesting things that you can find in the book to share with me. And then let them go. They'll love it. They actually might be begging for a few more Post-it notes. What you have in your hand at that point when they hand you the book that has been Post-it tabbed with these little bookmarks is you have a golden opportunity to dive in deeper. You'll know that polar bears and the color of animals' skin underneath the fur is something that's piqued their interest. So now you can go explore. Is it just a polar bear that has a different color skin than its fur? If they indicate that it's the hurricane that they're interested in, you can talk about extreme weather and how to survive a hurricane or how to prepare for a hurricane, etc. You can go deep by getting more books. You can find worksheet type activities. You can find arts and crafts activities, documentaries, firsthand experiences. If you know someone that's been through something like a hurricane and they've indicated that a hurricane sounds super cool to learn about, then you can totally hook them. It's not your job to teach your kids every single thing that you can think of. It's your job to wet their whistle and to inspire them to be more curious. And you do that by simply wetting their whistle, by taking some books. I almost dropped it. By taking some books and just setting them like a display in the library, and then seeing which books pique their interest. So here I have another one. Here's one that is about a drop of water. So if this was me and I had gone to the library, I would throw the book on the floor because that makes life way more interesting. I would set up a display like this, likely in my living room, likely on the TV stand or the, the windowsill. And then I would just watch. Do they touch the books? Do they read them more than once? Do they ask me questions? Do they ask me to read it? Because I know when that happens, I have a captive audience and we can lean in deeper. And that is so much more effective than cracking open a textbook to page 92 and saying, let's learn about a hurricane. That's not very exciting. See, kids are as smart as we are. They don't want to be told what they need to learn. They want to be inspired to lean in closer to some of the amazing things that life has for us to discover. So how do you make homeschooling more fun? By grabbing some books from the library, strewing them around, and observing your kids. And when they show interest, then lean in a delicate way, either by finding other materials that go along with it, or by going back to the library and saying, let's see what else we can find about this topic. And then you will find that their eyes begin to gleam and they lean in and they're so excited. So homeschooling can be a lot of fun. It takes a little bit of creativity, but you can do it. I'll see you in the next video.